Now, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman. As we begin in Georgia, where the struggle to save the life of death row prisoner Troy Davis has come down to its last hours. Davis is scheduled for execution later today. An African-American who was convicted for killing a white police officer, Mark Allen McPhail, in 1991. The case was largely built on witness testimony, but since the trial, 7 of the 9 non-police witnesses said they were coerced by police and have recanted their testimony. There is no direct physical evidence tying Davis to the crime scene. The murder weapon was never found, and there's no DNA or fingerprint evidence. Davis's case has attracted international attention with supporters including former President Jimmy Carter and Pope Benedict XVI. Davis received 2 setbacks Monday when Georgia's State Board of Pardons and Paroles refused to reconsider its decision to deny him clemency. The Georgia Supreme Court also rejected granting a stay of execution, with Justice Robert Benham casting the lone dissent. Davis's fate now rests with the U.S. Supreme Court, which has also been asked to consider a stay of execution. In a minute, we'll speak to Troy Davis's sister, Martina Correia, who's led the campaign to save her brother's life as she fights for her own as she deals with cancer. But first, I turn to Democratic Congressmember John Lewis of Georgia. A veteran civil rights activist, Lewis has been a leading voice for Davis's case. I spoke to Congressmember Lewis just before the show.
Well, this is a very sad and grave day in the state of Georgia, in our nation, and in the world. A man that could really be innocent, and all of the evidence tend to dramatize and point out the fact that this man may go to his death later today as an innocent human being. And when you commit that final decision and later discover that he is truly, truly innocent of the crime that he's been accused of committing, that's not any way to bring him back. I just think it's wrong and it's unfair, and it would be the greatest miscarriage of justice. The majority of the people that testified in this case have now recanted their testimony and their position, and I don't quite understand how the system of justice in America and in the state of Georgia can come any way close to being fair to this one human being. For the state of Georgia and for our judicial system in America to stand by and see this man executed, it would be a barbaric act as far as I'm concerned.
You are a civil rights leader. How does race play in here?
Race is everything in this case. This is a case involving a young African-American male and a young white male police officer. And the cards stack against this young black man. This is a long history. This is not something that just happened in the past few years, but there's been a long history in the state of Georgia, and especially in the American South, of being so quick and so apt to execute and provide capital punishment for low-income people and for people of color.
The Supreme Court doesn't even meet until next week. How could it intervene?
Well, the Supreme Court, to me, I just don't understand it. And I've been around for a long time. I've fought some battles, and I've been around a long time. The Supreme Court is saying they're not even going to meet. They're not even going to take up the case until the 29th of this month. That's next week. And you talk about executing the man today. Justice Thomas, who's from Georgia and from the same city and county where this case originated, could intervene now today, the next few hours. But I'm not so sure that Justice Thomas, as the designated justice for this circuit, is going to intervene. He doesn't have a history of setting aside cases of this nature.
Is there any other avenue of reprieve?
Well, I think the governor could act, the parole board could have an emergency meeting, but I don't see that happening.
Do you know Troy Davis, Congressman Lewis?
Well, I know of Troy Davis. I never met him. I know his family, his mother, his wonderful sister, who's a cancer survivor, who's been out there fighting to save her brother, but also to save her own life and save the lives of others. I testified before the parole board for them to stay, and they did delay the first execution. But he wrote me a very long letter thanking me for intervening and trying to help. That's my first and only time testifying before a parole board.
Congressman Lewis, I saw you at Invesco Field in Denver. My question is, here we see the first African-American presidential nominee of a major party. And yet, on the other hand, you have cases like this on the issue of how far we have come when it comes to racial equality.
Well, as a nation and as a people, we've come a distance. We made progress. When you see Barack Obama emerging as the likely next president of the United States, it seems like everything is pointing in that direction. But in spite of all of the changes, in spite of all of the progress that we've made as a nation and as a people, we still have so far to go. The scars and stains of racism are still deeply embedded in every corner, in every aspect of American society. When we see recent polls that are coming out today saying that a large number of people cannot bring themselves because of racial feelings and beliefs to vote for an African American.
Actually, Barack Obama's for the death penalty.
Well, it is troublesome. Sometimes I just wonder and have this unbelievable feeling that maybe, just maybe, someplace along the way, some of us must have the courage to say, and I'm moving closer and closer to this point, that in good conscience I cannot and will not support people who support the death penalty. I think it's barbaric, and it represents the dark ages. It's not in keeping. I don't think as human beings, I don't think as a nation, I don't think as a state, we have the right to take the life of another person. That should be left for the Almighty to do.
Final words for Troy Davis today, Congressman Lewis.
It is my hope and my prayer that Troy Anthony Davis will find peace in some way and somehow, that his life will be spared. But if not, he is a witness to this unbelievable craziness that still exists in one of the most developed places in the world, in America. And we advance so far, but at the same time, we're so far behind when it comes to respecting the dignity and the worth of every human being.
Democratic Congressmember John Lewis of Georgia, longtime civil rights leader. Well, activists in Georgia have been waging a round-the-clock effort. On Monday, 2 people were arrested after they were refused a meeting with Governor Sonny Perdue. Protests and vigils are planned for later today. When we come back from break, we'll be joined by the sister of Troy Davis, Martina Correia. Then we will go to the president of Paraguay. He's here for the opening of the UN General Assembly. Stay with us.